Here is the question. Do drought-tolerant perennials actually work, or is it just a label on the tag? They work, but only the ones that evolved for it, not the ones marketed as drought-tolerant because they survived one dry week in a greenhouse. The plants on this list have specific biological adaptations: leaves that reflect solar radiation, tissues that store water internally, root systems that reach moisture 12 to 18 inches below a dry surface. Those aren't marketing claims. They're survival mechanisms developed over thousands of years in the driest conditions on Earth. That's what you want in your garden this summer. Water bills have gone up significantly in most parts of the US and UK over the last few years. And the last decade has consistently delivered longer, hotter summers. Keeping a garden green through July and August with a sprinkler is becoming expensive, and in some areas, restricted. These 13 plants were selected specifically because they don't need that water, and they come back every year without replanting. If lower water bills and a garden that handles summer without your help sounds like what you need, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below. How hot and dry does your summer actually get? Tell us your zone and we'll tell you which plants from this list are the best fit for your situation. We reply to every comment. 3 biological strategies. I'll tell you which one each plant uses as we go through the list, because understanding the mechanism helps you know which plants to actually trust. Plant number 1, Yarrow. The mechanism here is different from a silver coating. It's the feathery, finely divided leaf structure. By breaking the leaf into tiny segments, Yarrow minimizes the total surface area exposed to direct sun at any given moment, which reduces water evaporation dramatically. It evolved in roadsides, rocky hillsides, and poor dry soil across North America and Europe. Flat-topped flower clusters in yellow, white, pink, and red. Late spring through midsummer, often reblooming. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Plant number 2, Perennial Salvia. Look closely at the leaves and you'll see a fine coating of tiny hairs, almost invisible without magnification. Those hairs trap a thin layer of still air next to the leaf surface, which acts as insulation against heat and reduces water loss through evaporation. The same principle as the fur on a desert animal. 2 bloom rounds per season with 1 cutback. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. Plant number 3, Russian sage. Both the silver-white stems and the aromatic grey-green leaves contribute to drought tolerance here. The silver reflects heat. The aromatic compounds slow water loss through the leaf surface. A cloud of tiny lavender blue flowers from midsummer through fall. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. What strikes me about Russian sage is how good it looks under exactly the conditions that make everything around it look terrible. The more brutal the summer, the better it performs relative to its neighbours. Plant number 4, Catmint. Here's something I find genuinely interesting about this plant. In a humid summer, it can get leggy and floppy. In a hot, dry summer, it stays compact, tight, and covered in flowers. The silver-green foliage is handling exactly the conditions it evolved for. 2 bloom rounds per season, lavender blue flowers, deer-resistant. Hardy in zones 3 through 8. If your summers are reliably hot and dry, Catmint will outperform most of your other perennials. Plant number 5, Lavender. Native to the dry, rocky hillsides of the Mediterranean, which means it didn't just adapt to drought, it evolved in it. The silver-grey needle-like leaves are covered in tiny hairs that retain moisture and reflect heat. Blooms in June and July, fragrance is extraordinary. Hardy in zones 5 through 9. According to the Royal Horticultural Society, lavender performs best in poor, well-drained alkaline soil, conditions that would stress most other perennials. Rich, moist soil is the one thing it genuinely doesn't tolerate. Halfway through, if the science behind how these plants actually work is as interesting to you as the plants themselves, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments which of the 3 groups fits your garden situation best. Silver leaves, succulents, or deep roots? We reply to every comment. Plant number 6, Sedum stonecrop. The thick, fleshy leaves store water so efficiently that established plants go weeks without rain and show no visible stress. Blooms August through October, the hottest, driest part of the season, with flat-top clusters in pink, red, and copper. Then the dried heads stay decorative through winter. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. It thrives where conditions would kill most other perennials. Poor soil, full blazing sun, gravel mulch, zero irrigation. Plant number 7, Agastache. The aromatic oils aren't just pleasant, they're functional. Volatile aromatic compounds slow water loss through the leaf surface by creating a thin protective layer above the stomata, which is where water escapes from the plant. Tall, fragrant spikes from midsummer through fall. Hardy in zones 5 through 10. Hummingbirds visit it constantly. No deadheading, no irrigation once established. Plant number 8, Ice Plant, Delosperma. A true succulent perennial, the leaves are thick, transparent tipped, and full of stored water. The name comes from the way the leaf surface catches light and seems to glitter, spreads into a low mat, and blooms in intense magenta, purple, yellow, and orange from late spring through fall. Hardy in zones 5 through 9. Perfect for slopes, rock gardens, and anywhere the soil drains so fast that nothing else gets established. Plant number 9, Penstemon, Beard Tongue. A North American native with semi-succulent leaves and tubular flowers in red, pink, purple, and white that hummingbirds depend on. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. It evolved in the dry prairies, high deserts, and rocky slopes of western North America, conditions where drought isn't a stress event, it's the baseline growing condition. The Ladybird Johnson Wildflower Center describes Penstemon as one of the most drought-adapted native genera in North America. Plant number 10, Echinacea, the deepest taproot on this list, which is why it performs well across such a wide range of conditions. It reaches moisture that shallow-rooted plants simply cannot access. Blooms June through September, feeds pollinators, feeds birds through winter with the seed heads. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. In year 1, water regularly while the taproot builds. In year 2 and beyond, step back and let it handle summer on its own. Plant number 11, Baptisia false indigo. The taproot does something I find remarkable. It fixes nitrogen from the air and deposits it directly into the soil around it. Over time, Baptisia actually improves the ground it's growing in, a plant that makes its own environment better while handling drought. Tall blue-purple spikes in late spring. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Takes 2 to 3 years to fully establish, then handles drought, poor soil, and neglect for decades. Plant number 12, Liatris. Grows from a corm, a swollen underground organ that stores both water and energy, similar in function to a bulb. During drought, the plant draws from that underground reservoir rather than depending on surface soil moisture. Vertical purple spikes bloom top-down in July and August. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. The one thing to know, plant in well-drained soil. The corm that stores water through summer can rot in waterlogged ground over winter. Plant number 13. Rudbeckia closes the list. It evolved on the American prairie, a habitat defined by hot summers, periodic severe drought, and no irrigation whatsoever. The taproot goes deep. The plant self-seeds to ensure survival across generations, and the golden yellow flowers bloom July through September at exactly the peak of summer heat. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. A plant shaped by drought over thousands of generations doesn't struggle with a hot July. It was built for it. 13 plants, 3 biological strategies, all of them coming back every year without irrigation once they're established. Here's the honest truth about that last part. None of them are drought tolerant the day you plant them. The root systems, the corms, the taproot depth, those take 1 full season to build. Skip the first year watering and you'll lose the plant before it ever had a chance to become drought-proof. The first year rule is simple. Water deeply and infrequently. Once per week, give the plant a long, slow soak, enough to reach 12 to 18 inches into the soil. Not a quick surface spray. A deep, deliberate soak. Deep watering trains, roots to go down. Surface watering keeps roots shallow, which means the plant stays dependent on you forever. By the end of the first season, the root system is built. Year 2 and beyond, step back. These plants handle it from here. Subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments which of these plants surprised you most and what zone you're growing in. Take care and enjoy nature.